Welcome to the SMB Community Podcast with your hosts, Amy Babinchek, James Kernan, Amy Luby, and Carl Palachuk. Produced by and for the Small Biz Thoughts technology community. We're dedicated to making every IT professional a successful IT professional. IT Service Provider University helps you improve the business side of your business. We launched IT Service Provider University in 2013, and today we offer more than 20 courses on every aspect of running your consulting business. ITSPU provides training and pathways to certification for individual IT service providers as well as company-level certifications. Pathways include management, technician, sales and marketing, service manager, and front office. Learn more about professional classes and certification at itspu.com.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the SMB Community Podcast. Hey, this is James Kernan. I'm going to be your co-host today, and I've got a very special co-host guest here that I want to introduce, Miss Charlene Ignacio. She's from Hawaii, and know in advance that she makes friends everywhere she goes. And what you see online about Charlene is what you get in person. I think I met her in person for the first time at a mastermind conference here just a few weeks ago. And all I can say is she's a firecracker. So she serves as a multi-industry CEO, speaker, author, serial entrepreneur, business coach, and also little known fact, she's also a second-degree black belt in Judo and a black belt in Lean Six Sigma, and she's certified with that. So marketing guru, Charlene, hey, welcome to the program.
Oh, James, it's so fun to see you again and be here with everyone. Thanks for having me and allowing me to help.
You bet, you bet. I love your energy. And more importantly, we're going to share some marketing wisdom today because our MSP question of the week is a doozy and it relates directly back to marketing. So perfect timing to have you on the show. So let's start off with that. We'll kick off with that because we've got the MSP marketing guru here with me. But the MSP question of the week was, what can MSPs do to market their business with little or no budget? Right? Everybody wants to do that.
Everybody wants to know that. And you know what's really fun, James, about that question is, there's so many different things. And so I want to tell the MSPs, especially our MSPs who are just fighting the good fight, don't get overwhelmed because you think everyone else is doing it. Believe me, everyone else is not doing it. And it's okay not to do everything that everyone else is doing because your MSP is unique. Your product and service is unique. You're trying to stand out in the crowd as sameness. And so, hopefully through today's, conversation, James, you've really teed it up well, zero to almost no budget. And I say this is necessary for all levels of MSPs, whether you're a 5 or less shop or, you're a big corporation or you're building into a channel. It really is proven principles across all growth cycles of every company. So what a hot topic to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you just mentioned something that's really cool, and let's start with this, but then I'd love to hear some campaign examples of what you could do with little or no budget. And I've got a couple answers as well to maybe fill in the gaps, but you said something really critical that I think is super duper important for all sizes of MSPs, really, especially the small ones, but it's to get, how do you stand out? And, I've always felt and had seen, get your personality involved with your brand, get your personality involved because you're unique. We're all unique, right? But that's, so the real question is, Charlene, how do you make your business stand out? What can MSPs do?
Oh gosh, I love this. When I went to James's mastermind, the room was filled with the smartest MSPs I knew around because they were really there to figure out how to grow their business and really do that aggressively and really be smart about it. So that's the first thing I want to lead with, guys, is, just like James's mastermind, you want to be the smartest one in the room, but listening for all the things that you can actually do. So here's a couple of things. One, MSPs, this is your biggest pain point. People assume they know what IT services mean or managed service provider means, and you have to understand that they don't. They're just going to assume based on the collective And unfortunately, the generalization of it creates what I consider the CSA-ness. You're standing out and you got to really pull away from what everyone thinks it is. So first rule is you are a walking billboard. MSP owners and team, you are a walking billboard. Your t-shirt says it, your car says it, how you deal with your customers and clients, how you deal with your networks. You are a walking billboard for your services. So if you're like every other MSP, you're going to look like every other MSP. But if you're not, then you need to stand out. That's why the billboards exist in counties and states, because you
Yeah.
want to stand out, right?
Yeah.
James, I mean, that's the first rule. What are you walking around in as a billboard of your business?
It's a great point. A great point. Yes, I agree.
And that's totally free, guys. When you get ready in the morning and you're walking out, you are a walking billboard. So my invitation to you is, first things first, keep it simple. What can you control right now? What you wear, what you put on your car, get a car magnet if you have to, or put a sign on your door of your office. A lot of guys forget that part. They're like, oh yeah, maybe I should put a sign out. Those are things that are visible because people will see you. And you want to stand out and say exactly what you're good at. And I want to say this, we work with multiple MSPs, and James, you always hear this, like the simple things is what gets missed because it's so simple to miss them.
Yeah.
So just start there, guys. I know that's really impossible, but man, you're going to say, what am I not doing right now?
Yeah, that's great. I agree completely. What are some other things that you've seen smaller MSPs do with little or no budget? What campaigns, for example? What things can you do?
So MSPs, I want to give you another vantage point to look at it. Your customer really needs to understand that you understand their pain point. So when you're marketing, you want to talk about the pain, because the pain is the reason why they look to you for the solution. So in your marketing, you can fix this right now. Your website, your LinkedIn, maybe even your collateral pieces. You can read it and say, am I just fire hosing my potential customer with all the things I know? Or are you going to fire hose them with saying, I know your pain and here's a solution that I can help you with? Two different strategies. And James, when I was at the mastermind, I'm not going to say who, but one of the smartest guys in the room raised his hand who has multiple degrees and said, holy crap, I can go do that right now. I'm like, go ahead. And it didn't cost him anything. He could do it right now.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I think that's so important. I teach a lot of professional sales courses, and it's around value-based selling. And the value is you and your ability to understand the customer's issues, challenges, and concerns, and what the solution looks like. So and if you can, connect it to the emotions, but you need to understand what their challenges are and then have a solution to fix it and the impact on their business by doing so. So that's understanding the customer's pain. I love that.
James, there's one more thing, and I'm just at the edge of my seat, literally. When you think about the business, guys, this third idea that's completely free is that you want to showcase how your business and cyber and security and MSP services align, because they want to see, why do they need to have, the bring your own device rule? Because guess what? You're going to say to them, well, you're trying to lower your risk, you're trying to lower your liability, you're trying to lower your insurance, you're making them money, you're putting money back in their pocket, and you want to showcase that because the business goals and the security goals and just the IT goals overall align. And so your marketing materials need to say that. Your marketing materials need to say that in a way that they can go, wow, we're going to save money, we're going to keep money, and we're going to be able to grow the company because you're walking in lockstep with us and our goals. Mm-hmm. And that's where you create a partnership, right? Think about your customer as a partner, not a customer who's just going to be out there paying you, a monthly bill every day. It's just not true. You need to look at them and go, how do I partner with you to make your business more efficient, more effective? How do I increase productivity? How do I decrease costs? How do I lower your liability? And James, when it's really that simple, selling already sells. It already makes sense. And your marketing just ties right in. They want to come to you versus you trying to force them to buy it from you.
Yep, exactly. That's awesome. And kind of related to the topic of what else can you do with little or no budget, a couple other quick ideas I would have is, like Charlene was hinting at, align yourself with your technology partners or distributors where you buy the product. If you're, loyal to Hewlett Packard, if you're loyal to Microsoft, or you're loyal to Fortinet, go to market with them, tell them what campaigns that you want to do and market their products into your customers, and they'll help pay for it. Okay. Or give you resources or content for free. I like having multiple ways of marketing the business, not just, rely on cold calling or rely on emailing, so have a variety of different ways to build your brand and touch the prospect or stay in touch with the customer, because sales is all about being in the right place at the right time, right? You want to be in the right place at the right time. So
yes.
And I know one of the other cost-effective or very inexpensive or free ways really is social media marketing. So that was something I wanted to ask you. What should small MSPs specifically be doing for social media?
There's two rules in the game, guys. The platforms like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, they're completely free, but you do not own the platform. And I want to make that really clear, because that's a big aha moment for even enterprise size companies, is because you don't own the platform. So what you have to do is get their information so that you can market to them. Because in recent years, you have seen the changes of marketing altogether. It's all about building a community, building an organization of credibility and trust. And so guys, you want to use these platforms that are completely free to your advantage, so that you can then own the information, like an email address or their contact information. But you got to build campaigns, and this is the second rule, guys, that they want to learn and hear from you. And here's how I say that. I have an MSP client, amazing human being, great, love their entire team. But you know how he built his business? Is because he took one client, helped them reach their goals, and then that client became a fan. So asked for reviews, asked for referrals, asked for, hey, do you know other people who are probably going through the same thing? You have a circle of influence, about 250 people around a business. Could you really take on 25 to 30 more clients? Of course you can, but you got to really think, until you tell your customer how amazing and awesome you are, guys, they don't know how to tell other people about you. So you're really scripting and coaching. And so social media does that for you, because people will look you up on Facebook, people will look you up on LinkedIn. And James, I know you teach us quite a bit at the mastermind. People are going to use these strategies for selling, but you've got to be really proactively out there doing it. They're not going to come to you. They're going to expect you to come to them. So don't spend money on ads right now. Like, don't worry about spending, $2,000-$3,000 a month. I would tell every small MSP, don't do that. What you start doing is build your brand and visibility to make you the expert authority, and then focus on that.
Yeah. I've always said good marketing is the combination of education and entertainment. So edutainment, right? We need to edutain our prospects and our customers and be that thought leader. So agree with you 1,000%. So, hey, I ran into you in Denver.
Yeah.
Fantastic event there. But what else are you up to? Are you going to any events coming up soon?
Yeah, they're definitely a big applause to the mastermind. James is bringing me back, so I'm thrilled in September. And MSPs, you got to understand that James just brings it, and he brings it loud, and he brings it intense, and he brings it to grow. And so looking forward to that. Building channel partner programs. We're going to CompTIA next week. It's going to be great. We're also going to be going to DEF CON. I know a lot of you are going to be there because it's one of the biggest shows for our industry. Channel Mastered is so excited and thrilled because we are just constantly growing and helping our vendors and our MSPs connect. That's awesome too. Another event we're going to is the MSP Summit coming up in Miami. We're going to have a big showcase. We're going to have yachts, cigars. We're going to have lots of fun. I don't know. I'm all about fun, guys. It's like I work really, really hard, just like you guys do. And it's like, gosh, when you get together with really amazing people, magic happens. So wait.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just to tune in or zoom in a little bit on what you just said, because something's really important. Charlene for any of you vendors out there that have go-to-market strategies, whether you're small or big, or sophisticated or not, if you have a go-to-market strategy to MSPs and you want more visibility with MSPs, you need to talk to Charlene and the folks over at Channel Mastered, because they've got great programs to everything from content creations to strategy, sales, marketing assistance to help you go to market. So make sure you look out for Charlene. And what's really cool is I'm going to be in Vegas. So
Yes,
I'm going to be,
that's why.
so I'll run into you there at CompTIA at the ChannelCon event. That will be super cool. And then, and then Scottsdale, late September. The weather will be cooling off, but we'll be at that Talking Stick Casino at the Mastermind event. And I know I'm going to see you there as well. That'll be super awesome. I'm looking forward to that. So cool. Anything else in the news or anything else that you're up to that you wanted to share?
Guys, one of the things that we try to help our MSPs with is really look at how do we help you 10x your business. And I know that's a common theme. So this is something that you've heard. I love MSP owners who are like, Char, I'm doing all the sales. I got my tech guys, I've got my dev team. What do I do? And I always encourage you guys to look at the model of channel partners, because it will do 3 big things for your business. One, it will bring you more salespeople without having to pay overhead, because they love your product and service. They have people who have problems that need your solutions. They're awesome for it. 2, partners bring what I consider validity and visibility. And what I mean by that is when someone else is talking about how awesome you are, guess what, guys? Your value to the market increases, and their visibility out there talking about you gets people going, well, you work with them. Awesome. Can I work with them too? And it just becomes a trust and an instant handoff. So that's the second reason why channel partner programs work. And the third, and this is probably what I love the most about it being a channel chief, is you're going to get to the market and leveraging each other's marketing strategies, budgets, much faster than you ever would on your own. And I want to say this, we're not an island, guys. Even though I'm from Hawaii and I love Hawaii, I love being from Hawaii. It's given me every happiness I can count on, is the fact that you're going to get there together, right? You're going to get to success. You're going to get to growth. You're going to get to your 1 million ARR faster, because there's other people bringing opportunities and deals to the table. And so you want to think about that as part of your marketing and sales strategy. I know James teaches that in the mastermind. I know that he says, guys, if you want to grow, you've got to increase, right, your reach and be out there and be really credible and be talking to all the right customers. And so, guys, channel partners is one of the things that I'm passionate about, because I believe it's about people. You're in the people business. You're not in the tech business, and you're not in the security business. You are in the people business first.
Yep. Well said. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. One last thing I wanted to bring up. So I interviewed a nationally known motivational speaker, a good friend of mine and successful businessman, Mr. Van Deeb. So we're going to highlight him on 5 minutes with a smart person, we call it. So a little 5 minutes with a smart person. Zoom in on that to listen to Mr. Van Deeb. He's just one of the most grateful, successful servant heart leaders I've ever met. And there's certain people, Charlene, that you meet them, and an old friend told me this, and it's kind of just blunt, but there's some people that give you energy, and there's some people that suck your energy, right? I want to be around the positive people that give you energy and makes me feel better at the end of every conversation I have with them. And you're like that, first of all, Charlene. So thank you. And secondly, Van Deeb is like that as well. Just he's a gift to all of us. So listen in on that. This is James Kernan with Kernan Consulting, here to interview one of the coolest guys you'll ever meet in the entire world, a friend, a business acquaintance, and someone I've really gotten to know over the past couple of years here in Omaha, Nebraska, Mr. Van Deeb.
Hello, James. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm really honored.
You bet. You bet. Thank you for joining us. You and I have connected a couple years back, and we got to spend some more time together this past year. But I was really intrigued with your story. We've got a lot of similarities in our background from growing up in the Midwest, playing college football, and then just end up being successful in sales and growing businesses. And now we're on similar paths of trying to give back to the community. But tell people a little bit more about your background and your story.
Thanks, James. So yes, and first of all, thank you for always the content that you put out. You're a mentor of mine, and I love the content that you put out to make us all better. So thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. So my story is, I was a non-conforming, rebellious kid with no direction. I'm the youngest of 5 people. They were all, kind of straight and narrow. I come from a family of preachers and teachers, and I didn't fit in any of those categories growing up. I was the wild child, and my mom didn't discipline me. And she said I made her laugh too hard, so she couldn't. But I knew I wanted to get in sales, and I was really motivated. We didn't grow up with any money. I didn't know it because we were just surrounded by love in my family. But I wanted to experience what it's like to have a bike that didn't look like it came out of the Wizard of Oz. All my friends had 10 speeds growing up, and I had this bike that looked like it came right out of Dorothy's. Anyway, so I was motivated that I wanted to be successful at something when I grew up. And I was fortunate enough to get into real estate at age 23, straight commission. And I'm celebrating my 40th year in real estate. But God's so good to me. I found a career that I literally got to say, I can't wait to go to work today. And, James, just like you want your audience and people that you're helping out in life and people you're coaching, you want them to be able to say, I can't wait to go to work today, which is kind of like my mission when I'm speaking. I want to do something that they have a takeaway that maybe will help them enjoy their career more. So anyway, I did real estate, and then about 25 years ago, I found a love of motivational, inspirational speaking, mostly to my own agents. I had this company that I started out in my basement, and all of a sudden I got 10 people, I got 50, 100, 200, 300, 400. So I almost got thrown into motivational speaking because I'm the leader of this company, and I'm the one that they turn to get excited and to be productive. And so that's kind of how it all started in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's impressive. I know your first real estate company ended up selling that. You had a successful exit, and then you formed another one. But the whole time, I love that you've been coaching, inspiring, and motivating out there in the public speaking circuit, and more importantly, to your own team. So here's a question I wanted to ask you. How long did it take you out of school and out of athletics to kind of tap into that competitive spirit that you had in sports and into sales, into business? How did you bridge that gap?
It took me probably 5 years just to find what I wanted to do. I was really, I feel like I wrote the book on the 4-letter word, WORK. I was always a worker, always disciplined, always motivated. In my time, my motivation was Rocky. The movie Rocky came out in 1977, and it did something to me because I could relate to him. I was a nobody with no direction. And this guy made a decision, Rocky, that he wanted to be the greatest boxer of all time. And eventually he did. I used that as motivation, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I got into real estate. It was all because I saw a guy that I went to high school with that I didn't know well, but he was driving a nice car. My car wouldn't go over 40 miles an hour, and I couldn't afford to get a better one. And I said, hey, what do you do for a living that you drive a nice car? And he goes, I'm in real estate. And I go, I want to get in real estate. And that's really how it all happened.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, like you, it took me a few years to figure that out. About 3 years, I got plugged into my first sales role. And being highly competitive like you, it was, we used to sit in a daily huddle, and the owner would walk around the room and call on each salesperson. How many calls did you make? How many quotes did you do? And it was the same format. And I wanted to beat everybody every single day. And it just kind of started with that. But it's hard work, right?
Yes.
Your foundation was hard work.
And your story, James, I just loved having you on my radio show. And I'd love people to go listen to your episode and just go to kcro.com and punch in James, and his episode will be there forever. But I learned so much about your history and who you are. And it made me even think of you more as a mentor to me, because you've got so much experience. And I preach to people, learn from people that have been there and done that. And that's why, James, when you send me emails or motivational stuff or mastermind or whatever you're working on, yours is one of the ones I really pay attention, because you're the type of person that we all should be learning from.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun being on your program. Yeah. So I know, obviously, you've got your own radio show, The Journey, on KRCO Radio. You're out public speaking all the time. I love what you're doing on social media. It seems like either you or someone else I know is posting pictures of you speaking at groups with the massive selfies. How do you find all your different speaking opportunities, and what types of things do you enjoy most when you speak?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'm a self-promoter. I'm one of these that I don't wait for the phone to ring. Every time I'm with a human, I'm giving them my card. This is my 40th year. I was supposed to retire back in 2009 when I sold my big company, and that lasted about 30 minutes. I am not cut out for anything but working. God blessed me with the discipline and the drive and determination to work. And I love what I do. But James, I tell everybody what I do for a living. I don't wait for people to find out from somebody else. I'm not afraid to go up to any level of employee, the receptionist, the janitor, the CEO. If you guys ever need some motivation, please think of me. I do workshops, I do keynotes. So I'm selling all the time. Now, one that you probably just saw is I go do an 8th grade summer entrepreneur camp every year at University of Nebraska at Omaha. And I visit with 8th grade entrepreneurs. And like the 2 words we brought up yesterday are work and respect. If you master both those words, chances are when you get in the business world, you're going to be successful. So I'm not just speaking to, successful people and big companies, anybody that needs a little bit of a shot of, yes, I can do it. I'm the guy that wants to be in front of them. But I'm always promoting constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know any different.
I can see that. And people can get that information up on your website, your speaking bio, and they can connect with you there. I see you all over social media all the time. But one of the questions I had, it sounds clearly like you'll speak to any group, anywhere, anytime. It's not like one industry that you're focused in. It's pretty much any size of business in any industry. Is that correct?
That's correct. It used to be I'd only focus on real estate, because that's what I'm still out on the streets right now. And I'm still selling real estate. I'm out on the streets because it makes me more relevant in being a better speaker to sales and service people. But real estate was, my main audience. But now, from Union Pacific to Aflac to any companies, it doesn't matter what their product is, as long as it's a sales, service, or leadership, I want to be in front of them. So I'm universal, but like I say, it's my presentations are all about personal and professional development, and that qualifies for every industry.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I like that you brought up personal development and professional development. I've done a lot of professional development, sales training, leadership training. It's all been more on the business side, but what gets you there is the personal side. Can you elaborate a little bit more? I mean, what have you done, or what can you do on the personal development side for folks?
Yes, I try to lead by example. So first of all, you've got to get your own house in order before you can benefit other people. If you're not feeling great, find out what's making you not feel great and make changes. If there's something about you that you're not confident, maybe you're overweight, Maybe you drink too much. Maybe you stay out too late. You've got to change those things before you can build your business. People gravitate to people that are living examples. I'm going to give you an example for me. I love to eat healthy because it makes me feel good. I work out, not a ton, but enough to make me feel good. I have to concentrate on doing things that make me happy in order to benefit others out there. And it's personal development is, a lot of people overindulge. Maybe it's food, maybe it's partying. I can't tell you how many people that have worked in my firm that could have been rock stars if they didn't stay out till 1 o'clock in the morning and they felt like crap, the next day.
Yeah.
My mother used to say this to me when I was younger, probably more often than not. You are your own worst enemy. And think about it. A lot of times people are not successful because of us, because we do it to ourselves. We have nobody to blame but ourselves on a lot of the reasons why we aren't developing like we're supposed to.
Yeah. Wow. That's some true words of wisdom right there. Some gold nuggets for all the listeners. I run into that all the time on the business side. People want to create a revenue generating program or, increase sales and profits and hire more people. And the reality is they're not growing because of something they're doing. It's their mindset normally. And normally there's something else going on. It could be a personal relationship, family member, lack of confidence, something they're self-conscious of, a lack of training. But normally it's a personal element that's stopping you from being successful in the professional world. So I like what you just said.
And that's it, James. I mean, I wanted to get to know you because of you as a person, not because of all your accomplishments. I wanted to get to know you because I like the way you carry yourself. I like your confidence. People buy from people. I can't tell you how many times I've spent more money on a product or a service because I like the guy, not because he had the better product and he might be more expensive, but I want to buy from the person that's drinking the water. I want somebody that's excited about what they're doing. And we can't be excited about what we're doing unless we dig deep inside to make ourselves better. We have to make ourselves better every day. And we have to tell our loved ones around the dinner table, these are my personal goals to become better, because if I become better, all of us are going to benefit. So let's all help each other,
Yep. So let me ask you a more challenging question. So I've always felt that, we all grow and we learn from events that have happened in our life. And it's when things are going great, things are easy, right? You just kind of go on autopilot. But sometimes when you run into big challenges, to me, those are big learning lessons in life. Were there anything in your professional career that you ran into that was a big challenge that you think was a learning moment for you?
Probably several, but one I can remember is, when I started my own company. I was in the real estate business for 10 years working for another broker, and I learned a ton. And I opened my own company, and I started out of my basement, and I had a bunch of my competitors say, "You'll never make it. There's not room for another real estate company." And some of them went to some tactics to try to keep me at bay, to keep me where I couldn't grow. And it was very, troublesome for me because I'm the guy that wants to help everybody succeed, but I wasn't getting that from my competitors. And so that was very challenging for me. So it made me work a little harder, not to prove them wrong, because that's a wrong motivation. I did it. I worked harder to build my company, to prove myself right. I didn't do it to prove them wrong. And then eventually, I've got the largest independent real estate firm in the Midwest. These guys were all treating me with a ton of respect. And you know what? Instead of me doing, no, see what I did. I embraced them and I brought them into my world and loved them like I would somebody that would have treated me better. But I think a challenge that everybody goes through is when somebody treats you poorly, you automatically might think, well, I've got to get back at them, or I got to do it. It's liberating to treat them better than you would have in the first place. It's
there you
liberating.
Go.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone on real estate appointments, and usually the people in Omaha pick maybe 3 or 4 top agents, and I was always one of them that they'd interview. And some of the clients would say to me when I'm going on the interview, "Hey, this other person that was here, she's one of the top dogs here. was not saying nice things about you, was not complimentary, and that didn't sway us. That's why you're here. You know what? I defend myself, but then I'd see her places. I'd always say when there was a crowd, there's one of the best real estate agents in Omaha. I did it all the time. And she would kind of look, and eventually she became one of my friends, and we're good friends today. But when people are bringing you down, you do the opposite and you lift them up.
There you go. There you go. I love that. That was fantastic. Yeah, it's I was always taught, blind them with niceness.
Ooh,
don't meet their energy, negative to negative. You lift them up, just like you said. So that's incredible. Man, I love chatting with you. We're going to run out of time. I want to ask for any final words of wisdom. You've dropped some gold nuggets in here already, but anything else that you want to leave the audience with?
I challenge your wonderful listeners and audience to get up in the morning, starting tomorrow, and say in the mirror, today I'm going to inspire somebody. That's all I ask you to do. Wake up. I started doing this a long time ago. And in my mind, the first human that I see that day, I want to say something to inspire them. And then I'm going to do to the next one, the next one, the next one. We all have ways to inspire people in a world where they need it now, and they need us more than ever.
Absolutely. And especially in today's day and times, right?
Oh boy, they need us. They need our love, which we're capable of more than ever.
So if anybody's looking for a keynote speaker, someone to run a workshop, come motivate their staff, how do people get in touch with you, Van?
I'm going to give you my website, vandeeb.com, my email, van@vandeeb.com. That's VANDEEB, van@vandeeb.com. Website, vandeeb.com, and my personal cell phone. I give that out because I love what I do. 402-680-8448.
Wow. All right. Well, all the pretty ladies in town are going to be calling that number
Please.
Later today.
I love
all
it.
Right,
Thank
awesome.
you.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the SMB Community Podcast. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe on any of the ways that you listen to your podcast. Make sure that you subscribe to the SMB Community Podcast. All right, everybody, take care. Charlene, thanks for being with us today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the SMB Community Podcast. If you found this useful, interesting, or fun, please subscribe, share with your friends, and give us a thumbs up on your favorite social media. Please check out the show notes at smbcommunitypodcast.com and give us your feedback.